What is up, you guys? And you notice I didn't say my normal intro. That's because I'm going to start posting everything on YouTube and on Rumble. So go check it out on Rumble, because sometimes the powers that be on YouTube like to put their finger on the scales. A little more freedom on Rumble. So we're going to be doing both. We're not leaving YouTube, just in addition going to Rumble. So no change if you're watching on YouTube. But I digress. What are we doing today? We are out on the range and we are running something different, totally different, something I haven't done in a long time. What is that? EDC. Everybody knows that. That's the everyday carry, and I still carry a striker fired gun. I carry a P365, even though many people are surprised to find that I don't carry a 2011. Well, what I've been carrying has been a P365 similar to this, but I just got a new grip module. So this is the ECM R11, and what is special about this is they changed the grip angle from the traditional SIG to more of the 18.5 degree 2011 grip angle. So this feels more at home to me, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this setup right here. So the ECM not only changed the grip angle, but it has these changeable insert grip panels. Very cool, very easy. Similar to Atlas, it's all retained by the magwell. Take the magwell off, these come out, you can put in all sorts of options. They have very bougie options to the cheese graters. So you got your bases covered. I have just kind of traditional black, I'd say standard grip inserts. And then I am running a new optic to me. This is the Vortex Defender CCW fully enclosed red dot. Haven't shot much with this at all besides zeroing, and interesting to run a new optic as well. This is a macro size frame, and then the 3.1 inch barrel and slide from the 365 with the Radian weapon systems, ramjet and afterburner barrel compensator combo. And then most importantly, this thing is running a different trigger. So this is the RAMM Tactical leverage trigger, and it's as good as you're ever going to get in a striker fired EDC gun. It is a phenomenal trigger as far as that goes. Now, what else do we have? We have the new Icarus Precision 311. Very similar, that they changed the grip angle. I don't think this is quite the 18.5 2011 degree, but it feels very close. And the one thing I don't like about this is that you can't run a magwell. I like magwells. If you don't want to run one, don't, but I think you should have the option. That's my position on that. And then also the macro size frame with very cool Lander's Weapon System 365 slide. And this is in their chainsaw texture. Very cool, kind of carried out through the grip mod. Looks similar, and it's just very nice texture. And it feels good too. I like the feel of this, although it does have just that stock P365 trigger. So very spongy, very not my favorite. But also running the Radian ramjet and afterburner barrel compensator combo. And this has the Holosun EPS carry. It is enclosed, but smaller window than that Vortex. So it is important that I say today, what am I doing? I'm just knocking the dust off. I haven't run EDC in a long time. I've been shooting 5-inch guns with some of the best triggers in the world. And now going back to these little guys, it's going to be interesting. I haven't done it in a while, so it should be fun. And then we also have this one, but I don't have a holster that is compatible with this, because this is the fuse length. So 4.3 inch barrel. This is on an Icarus fuse frame, and this thing is solid steel. This is heavy, so it should shoot well. It does have the Radian afterburner ramjet barrel combo running the Holosun EPS carry red dot. This one does have the Surefire XC3 light on it. Won't factor into today, but also dog shit trigger. And these have these lock grips. Very cool. So you can change these out to whatever. But the weight of this thing, we might just get this in and do some maybe a little more distance shooting just from the ready, because I don't have a holster. But one day I'll have a holster that works with this, and you'll see it out here. But we're not comparing these things. It's just to knock the cobwebs off and see how they run. And then last but not least, since it is a little appropriate, we do have the Staccato HDC 3.6. So this is set up more how in line with what I've been shooting, and we'll just see if there's, I do have a holster for this, so we'll run this too, run a couple drills, see how things feel. It should be, at least, at the very least, it should be entertaining. So let's get out there and run these EDC guns. Like I said in the intro, it has been a while, man. So let's just start with some draw to first shot. We're starting out with the ECM Precision. I don't know what ECM stands for, but extra cool module, maybe? So I'm gonna call it. Whew, that feels teeny. .127. I'll take this off. I'm not gonna be walking around the real world with a Reaper glove on. This is the most practical thing, because I do carry a gun, and this is what I carry, but I'm always out here shooting with full battle belt and, you know, outside the waistband holster, and just talking to Blake, like, if it ever was to happen that I actually had to use a gun in self-defense, it's gonna be in this setup. And I don't practice this nearly as much as I should, so you're gonna be seeing more of this on the channel. So 127 on the first one. Ooh, right. Just got nailed. 142, I'm gonna take a step back here. Oh, this dot is different. Not moving from an SRO to a teeny little gun, everything's different. And 129. These aren't the pants that I normally would be wearing. So these have a higher waist, so my whole holster is higher than it normally would be, so I feel like I'm grabbing up here. I should be grabbing like right here, I feel like. A lot of excuses. Oh man, that was right over his shoulder. 122, that's about normal. 1.2s, got a first shot. We're a little closer than with the big guns, but. 115, let's go to this A zone. He's further away too. So getting smaller and farther. Oh man, couldn't find that damn dot. Coming out with this, man, getting my grip right, it is different. .144. 142. Jeez. I will say, these aren't fun to shoot. I don't like shooting these, but it goes back to that. It is the tool that I would use if I ever had to, so I gotta rep out with these more. 143, so it's all like 1.4s in the, I don't know how far we are, 50, 20 yards? 18. 136. 156. Let's go run that 311. All right, Icarus 311 with this Lander's weapon system slide on here. This is the traction slide and an EPS carry from Holosun. So let's see, man, this all feels very foreign. And if you did notice, I am doing a little garment hold down here, a little cheater. That's from Scott Jedlinski at Modern Samurai. That's his trick. That, finding the dot in that little optic, man, whew, turn it up too. There, that's better. This is a green dot. Go. This thing feels totally different. Gotta go slower to get that grip. 152. 145. It was like 1.2s on the other one. But the main difference is the optic. Finding the dot in that. 138. 122. Ooh. I was just trying to point you. Well, that was a second. I feel way less accurate with this one. .154. Yeah, finding that dot, I'm having trouble. One more. Then we'll go to the A zone. Yeah, it is difficult to find that. I don't know how much difference that trigger makes either. I didn't notice that trigger being nice. And I don't notice this one not being either. I'm sure it makes a difference. 156. All right, 144. 14. Holy shit. So, yeah, that feels horrible. I'll tell you that. But let's go do some bill drills and see how that goes. All right, bill drills. Gonna be interesting. So we're starting with the ECM. I do have this big extended mag like that. Add some good feel to it, add some extra ammo. And I think the biggest single difference right now so far has been the optic. Vortex Defender CCW is bigger window, easier to acquire the dot. Here, the trigger should come into play, this RAMM trigger. I didn't notice it huge on those draw to first, but let's see. That's tighter than my other ones. So that was a 239. Slower, but for the most part, those four are a good group. A little opened up there. One's maybe a line break, or maybe it's out. 219, let me see. Oh, that's a line break. Nope, not a line break. So, that was not clean. One left. Or no, those are in. Yeah, that was clean. 243, so just a drop, being slow, man. Clean. 230. I mean, it's obviously slower, but all right, bills with the 311 from Icarus. I think the biggest difference has been this EPS just being smaller. Hard time to find that. But here is where this stock trigger is going to be noticeably worse. Oh, clean and slow, but that trigger just feels so sluggish. 247. Oh, man. Yeah, I had one high one, but all right. Yeah, that trigger, dude. Clean. 247 again. Consistent. Oh, yeah, that dot, man, I never even saw it. That Vortex, that's a nice little optic. I mean, for a carry optic. That was a 222 with a bunch of misses. So a couple high. Yeah, there were some high. So not as controlled, that's the trigger for sure. That was a 274. So much slower. That trigger makes a huge difference. This is all very uncomfortable, but it's fun. I like doing drills like this. I don't like shooting these guns out here for fun, but they are tools. I need to get better with them. I need to be doing this more often, but training with them, doing this stuff is fun. All right, and then lastly, had to do it. We have the Staccato HDC 3.6. The obvious advantage here, the SRO. I think that was the biggest struggle, but this also has a better trigger than those. Then that RAMM Tactical trigger, I don't know though. This is a Series 80, so that RAMM Tactical might have this one beat. We'll see. I'm not used to taking the thumb safety off on a draw. Woo. Yeah, that's different, but 149 with a miss. 137. 121. Oh, right over his shoulder. This one's harder to draw. I have less clearance in here. 152. 132. I can't remember what I was. 120s with the others. Oh, fumbly, dude. This is a dinky little grip, I'll tell you that. 109. That's not a reliable shot though. Can be done, but it's not reliable. Dude. Yeah, this thing shoots a hell of a lot better, but it's a lot harder to get out. Could be a combo of the holster too, but. 115. I feel like with reps on this thing, because this holster I've never used this holster. The other holsters I have a lot more, that's been my holster forever. Feels a lot more familiar. And I'm deactivating the thumb safety on this, which is just weird with the grip. That's all excuse bullshit, so I just need reps. That was 115. Going to the A zone, let's see. 145, it's all similar. 141, that's okay for a first shot, but follow-up shots with the grip I had right there would not be recommended. A lot easier to find the target with this. 149. Oh, I'm coming out with this grip of like the pinky not being fully on there. Not my favorite. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but my pinky's like not around the grip. Have to look on replay. 162. Oh, so I can tell you right now, with this one, the grip, it would need a lot of reps with this holster, with this grip to get a good draw. The other draws weren't great, but they were more familiar. This one, but once I clear the holster, clear the garment, and I'm out here, from here out, so much easier to find the target and put shots on target with this. 133, that's the fastest, right? On the A zone. 141. So I almost feel like I have to lean back to get clearance between, because if I'm just normal, it's really hard to get my thumb in onto the thumb safety and onto the gun in the grip. But if I lean back, it feels better. So I think just reps with this gun and it could definitely be a lot faster. But once again, I think it's mainly the SRO. So reps with those guns and I might get used to those little guys again. It's just been shooting this optic for the last year and a half, almost exclusively. Let's do some builds with this thing and we'll call it. All right, we're starting off the build drill, or ending off the build drill, I should say, with the Staccato HD 3.6. Biggest difference being the Trijicon SRO. And this one has, I mean, compared to the 311, this one has a far better trigger, even though it is a Series 80. So it's not really a great 2011 trigger, but better in those P365s. Let's see if I can get the draw. That's really where this thing struggles. This is a mini grip, man. Those other guns actually did better. 269. A lot of it's this damn draw, man. That was clean. 222. One high. That was 6 rounds though. In 269. So yeah, let's go talk about it. Okay, just got done shooting the EDCs. Now, before I get into the experience of shooting those, I did just want to take a moment and say it's not a comparison video. I'm going to be doing one of those where I'm really putting these guns head to head. But today was really, as I mentioned, knocking the cobwebs off, knocking the dust and the rust. And we did a little bit of that today. Just waded into the waters because it has been the last year and a half spent shooting all of these 2011s, typically 5-inch, like full-size guns with ports and comps and the whole nine. So going back to these little guns was it was fun, but it was frustrating and it was foreign. It felt somewhat familiar because I've done training with these pretty significantly in the past, but it's been a while. Pretty much a year and a half since I've done any of this. So getting back into these striker fired teeny little guns is uncomfortable, is probably the best way to say it. So started out, and let's just start with this guy. This one, I'll go through them, but they're not direct comparisons. Just tell you the experience of shooting each one. So this one, I didn't have a holster for it, didn't get a draw, and that just leaves me going from at presentation shooting this gun. Didn't shoot a lot, but this is the steel Icarus fuse. So full size, as big of a P365 as they make. And this one being steel, it's heavy, it shoots well. And I do miss the little gas pedal that these Icarus have. Some of these Icarus have built in. And this shot well. It's shot how you'd expect. It's a 4.3-inch barrel with the RAM jet and a steel frame. Like, it's going to shoot pretty good for what it is. So didn't have much problem with the optic, because that is really the draw, and the mechanical aspect's one thing, but then the optic and getting that after shooting SROs on these full-size 5-inch 2011s for the last year and a half, going to these little optics was a problem. Acquiring that dot was these teeny little windows. It gave me trouble, for sure. So then we went from there, and then we went to the Icarus 311. Now, once again, I don't know the exact grip angle on this guy, but it is the texture on this thing, and this one does have the built-in gas pedal, which I appreciate. Chainsaw slide from Lander's weapon system with the Radian. Except this one had the EPS carry and the stock trigger. So drawing this thing, these aggressive knurling on the chainsaw texture, it would catch the holster. So I had more trouble getting it back in the holster, which is no big deal. But it was, on the draw to first shot, not too noticeable to have the stock trigger, but acquiring the dot, I found some difficulty there. Just need reps, need to do it more. But the thing shot as expected for the most part. They're not real pleasant to shoot. They're not a lot of fun to shoot as far as just shooting for the sake of shooting. I view these things as tools, and I do have fun training on these kind of drills. Draw to first shot, build drills, that's all fun, but it's not pleasant, I would say that. So this is just the EPS carry really affected that, I would say. And then lastly, move into this ECM, and by far this is the best setup as far as EDC goes. So similar on the slide with the Radian, but this Vortex Defender CCW just has a larger window, easier to acquire the dot, and then you have this trigger, which once again, I didn't notice it at the draw to first shot, but the build drill definitely noticed this trigger coming into play. It is a far better trigger, probably the best trigger on these striker fired guns out there. I think I'm gonna get, for the comparison video where I'm actually comparing these things and getting metrics on it, they're all gonna have the RAM trigger. It's the only way to do it fair. So other than that, this grip angle is nice. I probably had a better draw, but it wasn't hugely noticeable, but it is a proper 18.5 degree 2011 grip angle. It's very comfortable in hand, although aesthetically, I prefer the look of this, but that doesn't really matter. And then also the ability to have a magwell. We didn't do reloads today, but I think that's going to come into play. And with this magwell, I'm sure I could get some more aggressive grip inserts, and that would help too, because I do like a more aggressive texture. This one has a small gas pedal built in, which is nice, even though on this I think my thumb is a little in front of that because I have a very high grip. But the biggest difference was going to be the trigger and the Defender CCW optic. And then last but not least, we get into the Staccato HDC 3.6. And this guy, this grip on this thing is incredibly short. I don't like this grip at all. But being able to run an SRO made a huge difference. And this trigger is far better than the stock P365 trigger, even though it is a Series 80. But it's better, and the main difference, I'd say, I got the P365s out of the holster, and then the slow part was acquiring the dot on target. Slow part for this was getting it out of the holster, getting that thumb safety off. But once I had it to about here, then acquiring the target and putting shots on target with the SRO was much easier. I missed less with this gun. So I like that this can run the SRO, but I would say the bill drill, this one actually outperformed it on the bill drill. So I don't know. I've never carried a 2011, and I don't think I'm going to start. I think actually carrying a gun every day, this is what I'm going to go with. The ECM. This is my carry setup. I just got this grip module and the trigger, and it just made it that much better. So, oh, and the dot too. So the barrel and the radian were off my current EDC, and in the future, like I said, I'm going to get another Vortex, get another RAMM trigger, put it in the Icarus 311, and then I'm going to have a real face-off of the two and really get some metrics in what I like and what performs the best. So I think they're both doing cool stuff, and you're going to see some more EDC stuff on the channel, probably a lot more in the future, and some striker fired content as well, because I got to start branching out from these 2011s, dig into the collection. So stay tuned for that. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective. It'll catch you next time. Oh, thumb safety got me.
Chamber got you. That's going in the bloopers.
Oh, buddy. It's only on 2011s.